Mweli Masilela now joins us from the border post. He is on the Mozambican side of the border post. Mweli, very good morning to you. I'm seeing some carnage there behind you. Tell us about what the situation is like currently.
Yes, Aldrin, the situation is a bit calm at the moment, but you can tell, as you can see, some of those vehicles that were torched last night. We saw those videos circulating, and when you look on the Mozambican side, there is no police or any other law enforcement officers from the Mozambican side that are on the ground at this area where I'm standing. But when you look on the South African side, there's a lot of police officers as well as officials from the border management authority, and they are saying that yesterday it was indeed a tough situation as those citizens of Mozambique who were protesting torched those vehicles as well as immigration offices. And when you look along the N4, you can see the long queue of trucks, and it's very telling that traffic is not moving. And from both directions, whether you're coming from the Mozambican side heading to South Africa, Aldrin, or coming from the South African side heading to Mozambique, there's no movement at all, and the gates are closed. But police had to take me to the side so that I can see as to what has transpired at the moment. We haven't been able to speak to some of the residents because this area where I'm standing, it's called Risano on the Mozambican side, and it's quiet at the moment. What we have seen is some of those officials that have run into the South African side for safety, those who are working for the Mozambican government. But as we have said, the Border Management Authority emphasizing that people should avoid traveling, especially here at the Lebombo border post. And it looks like people are heeding that call at the present moment. But we know that even inside Mozambique, in the capital city, Maputo, there's been quite a number of protests. Many citizens are challenging the results of the elections of the 9th of October, where the Frelimo candidate, Daniel Chapo, won the elections according to those results that were announced by 70.7%. So there's wide speculation that those elections were rigged. Hence, some citizens are saying that they won't allow this, because even if you look to the local government elections that were held last year, there were also some unhappiness on the side of people who voted, saying that most of those municipalities that Frelimo claimed to have won, they didn't win, according to some of those people, even though the National Elections Commission declared that out of the 65 municipalities of Mozambique, Frelimo won 64 of those municipalities. So this has been long coming when you look at what has been happening in the past, Aldrin, and the challenge at the present moment. It's difficult to get official statements. As you know, that at the present moment, we are told that the internet has been shut down in the country, and it's difficult to communicate between people and also to get officials as to what is happening at the present moment, Aldrin.
Yeah, a bit earlier on, Mweli, we were showing visuals of some of those trucks. There they are, those trucks that are lining up, leading to the border post. And I'm just thinking now about what happened with the July unrest and the impact that had had on the logistics of having to move some of the goods from the Durban port all the way into other countries in the SADC region. Do we know what the plans are in terms of contingency plans if, as the Masilela was saying a bit earlier on, that the border post remains closed indefinitely?
There's no doubt, Aldrin, that there's a huge impact in terms of trade. You know that South Africa and Mozambique enjoy those strong political and also economic relations. And there's a lot of movement of trucks when it comes to this corridor, which is the Maputo corridor. And when you look at the present moment, the fact that everything is at a standstill, well, there might be those options, but we know that already those other routes as well, they were already congested even way before this current situation. It's thousands of trucks that pass through the Lebombo border post between South Africa and Mozambique. So you can imagine the impact of what is happening at the present moment. And you will think that this is an urgent situation that will need both Maputo and Pretoria to meet and find out as to what is it that can be done to ensure that this border is reopened and operations continue. But surely, Aldrin, it's not going to be an easy task considering what is happening on the ground. You can tell that people are angry. They are acting after the announcement of those results. So it will depend on what happens, because we've heard also that there is a possibility for the current president of Mozambique, Filipe Nyusi, to announce a state of emergency. But of course, that's not an official communication at the present moment, but we will continue to monitor as to what comes out of the head of state as well as other key officials on the Mozambican side in as far as this current situation is concerned. But as I said, it's a bit difficult considering the volatile environment and the fact that communication has been compromised due to the issue of the internet being shut down in some parts of Mozambique.
And of course, SADC has called for an extraordinary summit to be taking place in Harare because of the post-election violence in Mozambique. That is set to take place between November the 16th until the 20th. Thank you so much for that update there.